I'm Jacqueline Sheely Lewis, and this is Our Point of View, Up Close and Personal. Well, today's guest is Mr. Gerald Rose. And we were talking earlier, and I was saying his title, and I think I ran them both together. I said co-founder.
Correct.
And he just went ballistic because he's not the co-founder. He is the founder as well as the CEO of the New Order National Human Rights Organization. That's
First of all, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Right,
not a problem, not a problem. But before we get into your organization, tell us a little bit about you. Who is Mr. Rose?
I'm from Toledo, Ohio. It was not easy. My dad was a civil rights activist. I grew up when my house and church was put on fire. Death threat calls came in. But in 1992, God called me to do his work. Two of my best friends got killed execution style. And my dad went on an 18-day fast to get some spiritual guidance on how we can solve the violence that's going on in our community. So he told me, son, I need you to go out to have a press conference to explain why I went on this 18-day spiritual fast. I didn't know what he was talking about, but I went out there because I was a victim. Two of my best friends got killed. You know, if I didn't go back into the house, you know, I could have been a victim. So that's when God called me to get involved in the community.
Wow. So what's your educational background?
Actually, I only went to college 1 year, you know, and after that I went to the service for 4 years, you know, came back home. But my dad was always on me about responsibility, you know, because when you're grown, you got to pay your own bills,
right.
You know. So when I got home or whatever, I immediately, you know, started working, got out the service, because the service wasn't me. But I received a phone call from my cousin from Birmingham, Alabama. He said, Gerald, you need to come on down to Atlanta because it's the place to be. And I thought about it, I prayed on it. I said, you know what, that's the Black Mecca. You know, so I came down here from from Ohio, got involved in the community. It was not easy when I first started, but I could tell you that God is good. And now we are nationwide. I do a lot of traveling. We have different departments and stuff. But again, I know it's the man above that's carrying this torch.
Right. So you mentioned a lot about your dad. Who is your dad?
Wow. At the age of 80 right now, he has an African art museum inside his church. He went out, you remember the original movie, Dr. King? My dad went out for that part that Paul Winfield got. You know, I remember when Dick Gregory came over to the house, Rosa Parks came to our church, Minister Farrakhan came to our church. The mayor visited all the time, but it was not easy, you know. So, but I thank God for him because it wouldn't be no New Order without my dad. You know, he's my mentor as we speak, you know. So I love him, you know. And he said, son, when it's my time to leave, don't cry because I done seen the first Black president. I done lived a long time. The torch has been passed to you, you know. So I have accepted, and I got to move on and continue this journey.
Okay. Now, what about siblings?
I have
siblings?
Yes, I have a son and a daughter. I have 2 grandkids, you know, and I'm hoping that I could pass the torch to one of them people, you know, because the legacy got to continue. You know, my father's side of the family is very involved in the community, very involved in the community. So I know one of them is going to go ahead and take this torch because I can't do this forever, you know. So I just thank God that God blessed me with 2 kids and 2 grandkids, you know, to continue the legacy of the Rose legacy.
Okay, so what about your sisters and brothers?
Yes, I have 2 brothers and 1 sister.
Are they a part of your organization?
No, they're
as well?
not.
No?
They're not. You know, they support from a distance, you know, and they call me little bro, you know, so to make sure that I stay safe at all times because it's not easy. You know, even when I travel to other cities and hold events, I'm not even in the Nation of Islam, but the Nation of Islam provides security for me when I do travel.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm really looking forward to getting into talking about your organization.
Okay.
So when we come back, we're going to talk with Mr. Rose, and we're going to talk about his organization. We'll be right back, more with Our Point of View, Up Close and Personal.
There's a place where folks still play with fire. The common ground between backyard barbecue heroes and professional chefs. This is where friendships are forged, fire and flavor come together, and new techniques are perfected. Here in Big Green Egg Country, cooking is still treated as an art form. And since the most versatile grill you'll ever own comes with a lifetime warranty, you'll always have the ultimate cooking experience. Locate a dealer at biggreenegg.com.
Tracks of the day. Scorching heat today, folks. Day there. Next up.
Walter!
Stop suffering with hot AC. Cool it yourself with AC Pro. Just connect the hose, squeeze the trigger, and check the gauge. With 2 times the cooling boosters, enjoy the comfort of the #1 selling coldest air. Nothing cools like AC Pro.
A once in 500-year storm should happen every 500 years, right? Fact is, there have been 26 in the last decade. Allstate is adapting with drones to assess home damage sooner. And if a flying object damages your car, you can snap a photo and get your claim processed in hours, not days. Plus, Allstate can pay your claim in minutes. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
Welcome back. We're talking with Mr. Rose, and we're talking about his organization. Now we're going to have him explain to us his organization and how he started it and why he started it. First, can you tell us the name of your organization and how you came about the name?
It started off Council of New Order. And I started at a library, public library back in Toledo, Ohio. But then when I got down here to Atlanta, I called it, it went to New Order. But then once we started getting calls outside of Georgia, we went national. It's called New Order National Human Rights Organization. So we're taking baby steps right now, but at the same time, we are walking right now. So that's the reason why I changed it to New Order National Human Rights Organization, because of the much traveling and staff members that I have outside of the state of Georgia.
Okay. Okay. So you have a big staff that helps.
I don't have a big staff. I have about 13 key staff members.
Okay.
But you know, I have staff members in Delaware, Kansas, Ohio, you know, Louisiana, you know. So again, it ain't how many people you have; it's the dedication.
Right.
And
right.
you got to be dependable, and you got to be determined.
Okay. Okay. So in your organization, you have other organizations, like you have your youth outreach.
Correct.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the youth outreach.
We're in partnership with several ministries throughout Metro Atlanta area, the Atlanta Braves, Georgia Works, the Gateway Center. Also, my mind is kind of split right now, I'm sorry. The Evolution Center, you know, so we're doing great things, you know, and I just want to thank God that when I first got to Atlanta, the doors was closed. But once they realized that we mean business and we're serious about what we're doing, and I'm in this business for solutions, not to be seen. Because if I want to just be seen, I would demand myself to get out of this. Because people are frustrated these days,
Right.
you know, so I just thank God that I'm in this business to have solutions.
Okay, so why did you start the youth outreach program?
Because it's very important. Youth is our future, you know.
So was there an incident that you came across, or?
Incidents,
Okay.
yes, because people call us, you know, single moms with young boys saying that their child is out of control, you know. So I have some strong men in the organization that we do mentoring. We will do a personal visit at your home, you know, and things like that, because we have a lot of talent in this organization, because again, the youth is our future, so why not? So it's very important that we reach out to the youth and let them know that no one's going to save our children for us but us.
Okay, so the youth outreach program is like, it's a mentoring program. Is there anything else that you do with the youth outreach? Because you mentioned about the moms, but they're called, the single parents are calling you because they're having a problem with their child.
Correct.
Are there any other programs that you have?
Right
for the
now, it was just basically doing mentoring, and also, of course, we deal with bullying as well. You know, because a lot of kids are getting bullied. Matter of fact, we have a case as we speak in Gwinnett County that there's a bullying issue. So I had a chance to go on CNN and talk about the high-profile case where a 14-year-old little boy hung himself in a closet because he was getting bullied. That was back 4 or 5 years ago. You probably remember that case. You know, so we have to reach out to the youth. Even back in the day with Dr. King, there was a lot of young people surrounded him, young people that was involved. So that's why it's very important that the young people know, hey, you're going to be somebody someday, because some of our young people are raising themselves.
Right.
You know, then they end up turning into gangs. You know, are we a perfect organization? No, but do we care? Yes. You know, so we're an organization, we'll be honest with you. So that's why I'm glad that that we're doing stuff in the community. And with Atlanta Braves, we've been in partnership with the Braves since about 8 years now, and they donate free tickets to year, but we use them to take the less fortunate to the baseball games.
Okay. Okay. Now, what are some of the other other partnerships you have? And how do you utilize them with your organization with the youth outreach programs?
What we do is we go inside, of course, the Gateway Center, the Evolution Center, you know, the RYDC. I just got that program.
Juvenile,
Let
yeah.
them know, hey, you're going to be somebody someday.
Right.
You know, it's very important. I do not talk negative. I cannot judge no one. You know why? Because when I went inside the Evolution Center, there was a young man said, I need a job. I did not know him. He said, sir, why do you come in here and talk all this, and where's the solution? I said, you know what? You're right about that. So I went back to my office. I prayed or whatever. He was from D.C. He did admit that he'd been in trouble. There's a record on his file, but he learned from his mistake. I ended up getting him a job. He ended up being a stock clerk to a manager of a black-owned hair salon in Marietta, Georgia. And now he has housing, because when he get off work, he had to return to the Evolution Center, but he wanted to have his own housing, so I helped him out get his own housing. That's a solution. That's why New Order is out here in the community. And I think that when we did that, we did a wonderful job, and I just thank God for the whole staff working, getting this young man housing.
Hey, can you explain what the Evolution Center is?
It's a place where people might just got out of prison. It's like a halfway house.
Oh, okay.
So it goes from the Gateway Center to the Evolution Center. You know, so there's steps that you got to take. So I really grabbed him as soon as he got off the streets. You know, and I prayed on that. You know, and I just thank God that I could do the next person like that.
Okay, so does your organization only deal with the youth that are having negative problems in their lives,
Oh,
or
no.
you deal with youth who are positive on the right
Correct.
track?
That is
and how do you
correct.
deal with them?
First of all, we got to let them know they got to stay on the right track. You know, let them know that, hey, you might not have been in trouble now, but sometimes you can be attacked. You know, so if that goes on or whatever, you could pick up the phone, you could call me, you know, call the organization. So we want to make sure that they stay focused, because what's going on now in 2019 is very serious out there. You know, so it's going to take more than just New Order. You know, I'm all about working together with other organizations to make sure we make a difference in our young people's lives.
Okay, you had an event today at the Atlanta Mission. Can you talk a little bit about that? And I had the pleasure of spending a little bit of time down
I
there
appreciate
today as
that.
well.
Every twice a month we go on the Atlanta Mission and try to encourage someone. You remember Hosea Williams?
Oh, yeah.
He was all about the resident, the clients, you know, that's in these homeless shelters, and you can't forget about them. So I go on there to motivate them, let them know that Tyler Perry was homeless once before, and I look at him now. So don't give up on that. Is a temporary mission, but you got to want it.
Right.
You got to want it. So we try to go in there and look for the ones that want to make a difference, because, again, everybody's not going to get the message.
Right.
Have I been burned several times? Of course I have. Do I stop? No, I will not stop. You know, so it's very important that we go in there and let them know, hey, even though because when you come in that situation, you might lost a job, you might have just got out of military, you know, and things like that. So somebody might be on drugs, you know, but the Atlanta Mission, I'm glad that they gave us the opportunity to go in there and speak, and we've been in partnership with them about 7 months now.
Okay. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to speak more about the Atlanta Mission.
Gotcha.
Okay, we'll be right back. More of our point of view, up close and personal, with Mr. Gerald Rose. We'll be right back.
Got what you want, got what you need. Live your dream, but be your fantasy.
Sarah? Clean enough?
When you use Groupon in your neighborhood, you're not only saving money, you're also supporting local business. I mean, what kind of person wouldn't want to support local business?
I hate local business. Family owned, even better. Shut it down.
When you save in your neighborhood, it feels so good. It didn't feel good for him, though. Download the app and save. Groupon.
Alexa, call Ashley.
Yeah, it's about time you called that girl.
No, he just talked to that girl 2 hours ago. You gotta let love marinate. Put love in that bag to marinate. glove gonna be in that bag like, I can't wait to talk to him tomorrow. What? And then after it marinates, you're gonna pull it out.
JB, who's Alexa? Say it. Say it, JB.
You Alexa.
That's right. I'm Alexa.
Thanks, guys, but I'll take it from here.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Mr. Gerald Rose, and we're talking about the Atlanta mission. Because you were down there today.
Yes.
And explain what it is, what the Atlanta mission is, and what exactly you do for them.
It's a homeless shelter here in Metro Atlanta area, the #1 homeless shelter here in Atlanta. And we just go in there to encourage people, you know, let them know that, hey, this might be a little setback right now, but just stay encouraged, you know, stay motivated, stay focused, you know. So I want to thank the Atlanta mission for allowing me to go in there, because right now I can tell you we are getting some solutions. You know, we have got people some jobs, you know, and things like that. So that's why I'm glad that we go in there. Because I did tell the director that if I can't get no results out here in this particular ministry, please remove me, because I don't want to waste their time. I want to go in there and help somebody.
Okay, okay. Now, when you go to the Atlanta mission, do you see the same people over and over? As far as you call them clients?
Correct.
Instead of homeless people, you call
Correct.
them clients. Okay.
Correct.
Do you see the same clients every time you go?
Not all the time now. When I went in there today, I've seen a few of them, you know, but the majority, when I go in there every other Tuesday, I see new faces.
Wow.
So I got to do a new presentation. Yeah. But as you seen earlier when you was with me, people came up and shook my hand.
Right.
You know, people that called my business office already, and I only been there earlier today. You know, so I hope them are the ones that really want to make a change in life.
And that's not a good thing when you see different people.
That is correct.
That means there's more homeless people.
Oh, yes.
More homeless people that
yes.
are coming in.
Correct.
Well, at least they're having an opportunity to locate this shelter.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Okay.
But see, that's considered a campus. The director explained there are phases as well when you at the Atlanta mission. You know, so if you continue to do good, you end up having like your own like little apartment on the campus of Atlanta mission.
Okay.
People don't know that. You know, so they're in the last phase before they go out to society.
Okay, and this mission or this campus was all male?
Correct.
Because I only saw male.
That is
there.
correct.
Okay,
that is
all male.
Right. They do have a female academy as well that I plan to reach out, because I have some females in my organization has been there and done that. They like to go tell their story as well.
Okay. Okay. So most of the people who work with you with the youth outreach organization, they have actually been a part of the system? Or
one young lady has, my vice president from Oakland, California, has been a wonderful job. She kind of run the youth and outreach, but the last young lady that joined the organization did 10 years in prison. You know, being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Very high profile case here in Atlanta as we speak. She's at the Evolution Center right now, giving back to the community, and it's males, all males.
Wow.
You know, so I thank God for Shamika doing. She's my national field director. You know, so I'm just excited, Jackie. I can just tell you that I have a wonderful team, and that it's not I, it's we, and that I have confidence in all of them. Because when I'm out traveling, they got to hold down the mission while they're here. You know, while they're here in Atlanta.
Right.
You know, so I don't have to. You know, I don't micromanage. You know, I don't have to do that. Even I have people that work remotely. You know, like my research director. You know, when she researched these ministries throughout Atlanta, they make sure that the credentials are high, make sure that when we come in, we know what we up against. You know, because research is very important on these things what we're dealing with as youth and outreach departments throughout Metro Atlanta area.
Okay, so now you dealing with the youth, did you have a troubled background when you were growing up, or you know, like as a youth or as a young adult, did you have some issues that
I'm gonna say major no, but was I sneaky? Yes. Did I get caught on some of them? No. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. You know, there was some things I did, but I never did nothing crazy because I wouldn't be talking to you. You know, my mom and dad did not play. You know, but of course you're gonna be sneaky.
Right.
You know, but I stayed focused the majority of the time. I had a little incident in the third grade. Third grade, where the principal made me eat something in the classroom, in the lunchroom, and that I didn't agree with, and I ended up slapping her in the face. And
in the third grade?
Correct.
Was it some vegetables you didn't want?
That is correct.
Are you serious?
That is correct. But it's funny now, but back then it wasn't funny because you know parents didn't believe in keep going up to school all the time.
Right.
So my dad came up. This is when you were allowed to get whoopings.
Yeah, and they had paddling in the school.
Correct. So he whooped me. I said, okay, you want to show out. So he whooped me in the lunchroom where everybody could see me. And then my mom got me when I was at home. That's the last time they had to go up to the school. You know, that last time. So again, I did some things. You know, I was a kid.
Right.
You know, but some things I didn't get caught with. Nothing major. No.
So you just saw a lot of troubled youth, and you wanted to
Correct.
help them. You wanted to reach out and help.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is once I got older. That is correct.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
correct.
Okay. So now a majority of your volunteers for your organization, they had troubled youth, troubled backgrounds too.
There was a couple that been there and done that. My field director, my chief of staff, who works in Columbus, Ohio. You know, he really been there and done that. You know, but now God didn't turn his life around because he was originally from Dayton, Ohio. So he relocated to Atlanta, Georgia. But he told me, he said before he relocated, he asked God to bring somebody positive to his life to make a difference in his life and also make a difference in the community. I ended up tapping him on the shoulder. He didn't know who I was, so he had this guard up. I said, you know what, I don't know you, sir, but God told me to tap you on the shoulder, and I want to invite you to a meeting. So he came to one of my meetings at the library in Cobb County, and he was very, very impressed because he knew I was serious. You know, and now he's been in the organization for like 15 years. Now he runs my whole legal department. And he was a client before, just like we went to the Atlanta Mission earlier today.
Right.
Same situation, sitting in a seat like that, sleeping outside, pouring and raining. Family turned against him. But now, when I first met, he said, sir, I can't be on social media because I did some things that I shouldn't have done. And now he's all over social media.
Wow.
You know, so like that's the people that's coming into my life because it reminded me of the movie Scared Straight, which I was very scared, you know, watching that on TV as a young person. So he has a message he can give. You know, so I'm just excited because we all make mistakes.
Right.
We all make mistakes. There's no one perfect on this earth.
Right.
If they say they're lying.
Right. Big time.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So you're talking about the negative with the youth outreach program. What are some of the positive things? Like, I mean, what are some of the positive things with the youth as far as their education? You make sure they go to college? You're talking about keeping them on the straight and narrow path, but if they're already good in doing what they're supposed to do, how is it that you come in contact with them, or why is it that you will come in contact with them?
For some reason, God makes it happen. And then when I do come in contact with them, I use them for example. Have them go speak, and things like that. Because these days it takes a young face to touch a young person, So, and we just sit back as an organization, and I think we're going to start a junior New Order. Because we're getting old, so that's why I want to, the ones that stand positive, unfortunately the calls that we get is more of kids that needs that extra help, so we rarely get kids that's already on course. So as you can see, we got a lot of work to do because of what we stand for. So, but we do require when we get Braves tickets or different things that we can reward you with, we will reward them, but they have to stay on the course. And we're going to make mistakes, but we just don't just give. You have to earn it.
So do you go into high schools or the middle school? Do you go into the schools, period, to
Yes.
make contact with these students?
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
I went to Booker T. Washington High School. I went to the ombudsman schools throughout Metro Atlanta area. That's an alternative school, as you know. So I had to go in there and speak. It was not easy. Some of the kids our students is a little bit out of control.
A little bit?
Yeah.
I think a lot.
That's true. Do I give up on them? No.
No.
But sometimes these ones that's really out of control, it's hard to help them because I could talk all day positive, but when you go home to a negative atmosphere, your hands are tied.
Right.
You know what I mean? They said, well, Mr. Rose, I understand where you come from, but when I go home, my mom is not there, my dad is not there, or, they drinking all day, they on drugs. Then I come to school, what I'm supposed to do. So we get a lot of calls as well on that as well. So, so when we do mentor the youth, the parents have to meet us halfway at least.
Right.
Or it would not happen.
Right. Okay, so when you all go into these schools, in order for you to have contact with these children, you have to be background checked.
Of course.
So you have people in your organization that have some, shady backgrounds and all. How are they still able to be a part of the your organization? with the students to be, work one-on-one or hands-on with the students if they have like a, a shady background?
Right. There is a form that they fill out, and we will be upfront with it because, like I said, it's good to have people been there and done it because I think they can deliver the message more strong than I can, if you get what I'm saying.
Right.
So we would be upfront with the parents and what's going on today, and if they know that we're real and they know that we're making a difference and we're being upfront with the parents, right now we haven't been rejected, because of what's going on right now. So there is a form that you have to fill out, but when I say been there and done that, a lot of, the young lady did get some trouble. It wasn't like she got caught up at the wrong place at the wrong time with dealing with the wrong people.
She's the one who did 10 years in prison?
Correct. So I did some research now because when the tax come, I know I'm going to get asked that question.
Right.
So I'm already ahead of the game, and things like that because, again, even I look at the Nation of Islam, one thing I like about them is that they take people off the streets and turn their lives around. It's called the word discipline, so will I accept anyone? No, but I want to make sure that you learn from your mistake and you being honest with me, and let's do this.
So do you have more males or more females, or about the same?
It's about the same.
I'm talking about for the youth that you're dealing with.
It's more males.
More males?
Most males, yeah.
Okay.
But we're trying to get reach out to more females because we had a chance to go speak at the women's prison on Constitution, but I took all of the females with me, and things like that, and it was a very, very positive visit. But at the same time, is that when you hear these young ladies inside these walls, and why they committed these crimes, and you can see we have a problem with sex trafficking going on right now, So I was very, very concerned with what's going on. Right. When you're innocent till you're proven guilty. If you proven guilty and the facts was right, you need to be punished. But at the same time, I believe in second chances. But it depends who the situation is.
Right.
I do understand, but again, I'm just glad that we're allowed, that the doors open up for New Order, and God knows that we're trying to help, because we are a human rights organization. We're for all God's people.
So how long has the youth outreach program been in effect?
Basically being strong, I would say 2 years now.
Just 2 years? Okay.
Yeah, because now I got some people that's not playing. People done came and gone. But my dad always told me, say, son, you the one that's really going to have that extra push because it's in your blood, and you lived it growing up as a child. But I could say right now, there's no drama, there's no snitching. I can honestly feel that I trust them because I know that you can have people that talk. That's why I don't have a lot of people. Because people go talk or whatever. So I kind of cut down my staff and make sure that we're family first. My field director, matter of fact, she's in the hospital visiting her sister. She got diagnosed with cancer at 4th stage. I said, was it okay with you? Can I let the New Order family know what's going on? Yes. So we immediately had a prayer conference call. So when you hurt, I hurt, we hurt. So we're close first, because we can't help nobody else if we're not close first. And that's what I love about this organization.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the human rights side of it.
Love it.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk more with Mr. Gerald Rose. We'll be right back. More of our point of view up close and personal.
Get up! This is where a kid fell down and a champion got out.
This is where shoes to fill became footsteps to follow.
The Golden State Warriors select Stephen Curry.
This is where ego was laid to rest and humility rose in its place. But my mind is where every challenge I've ever faced has been won or lost.
Welcome to the Carnival 30-minute tour.
Hey, Shaq. It's a 30-second tour.
No, man, it's like...
And now it's 26.
Welcome aboard! Ocean! Skyride! Mini golf. Relax, relax, relax! You take this man to be your husband?
I do.
Married. No time for basketball. Pool! Carnival. Choose fun.
In every second, you prove someone wrong or right.
the fans, the city, or yourself. Every second is a moment you'll never have again. What will you do with yours? Will you take control and deliver on your promise? Or forego your fate and leave it to chance? Every second you waste is a second closer to second.
And welcome back. We're talking with Mr. Gerald Rose, and we're going to talk about now the human rights side of your organization.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about that.
We're considered a voice for the voiceless. We have a legal team that works with the organization. We took on some high-profile cases with Michael Vick back in 2007, was convicted for dog fighting. We was the first organization to say that you're innocent till you're proven guilty. We had the first rally at the Georgia Dome. When T.I. was required to do all these community service hours, and when he got in trouble, he was denied in Cobb County, and we was the first organization that said, why not? Because he was the example. Of course, he changed his life around. We was in a high-profile case out of Jackson, Mississippi, called James Craig Anderson, dealing with some racial issues going on. So, but of course, we do a lot. We get a lot of calls. You know, we just got a call today from the state of Arkansas about some situations going on, you know. So we are doing some great things in the human rights, but it's not easy. You know, that's why I take security with me in unfamiliar places that I don't know, to protect me, because I'm one step ahead of the game because of what my dad went through growing up in Ohio. Right. You know, but I don't think about it because I know the man above got my back, but I do understand I got to keep my eyes open. You know, and things like that. When someone filed a complaint with us, with the Human Rights Department, they got to fill out a complaint form. Because one thing, we don't go off emotions, we go off facts. Because if you go off emotions, you're not going to get no results. When you go off facts that we know that we can attack, we get solutions. And that's why I love our intake department that screen calls and things like that. I have an open door policy with several chief of police throughout Metro Atlanta area. Again, all police are not bad. I go in there and say, I like to have an open door. Oh, of course. I like to have an open door policy with you. You know, so I done been in every chief of police throughout Metro Atlanta area for years, you know, and thank God. So now at first they had the shield up because they didn't know who I was. But once they know that, that they admitted that we do have some bad apples, you know, on the force, but at the same time is that that issue need to be addressed. But at the same time is that when we do get a call, we're not just going to automatically believe the clients. You know, I want to hear your side of the story so we can get this resolved. Okay.
Okay. Now, when the family contacts you, do you actually speak to the press about the situation, or what exactly do you do for this family if they're in a situation?
It depends what's going on. You know, I only bring the media in if I have to, because I'm not all about just the cameras. You know, but it depends on the situation. But what happens is when someone calls our office, all right, they have to fill out an intake form. My legal department does all the review, and then if you say, well, Mr. Rose, we need to move forward, that's when we decide as the executive board on how we need to address the issue. And it depends on the situation. Now, if we need the media, we will call them. But I would rather resolve an issue behind the scenes, you know, and go to the next case. But sometimes you need them because if it's a corruption case or something we know that is wrong, the public needs to know, and that's when I would bring the media involved in the case.
Now, what about when it's a case where a young black male has been shot and killed by a police officer?
Of course. I mean, look what's going on in America now. Yeah. But you know, can I say this? We're killing each other too.
Oh yeah, first. Yeah.
You know, so how can we fight the enemy, but we're killing each other? Right. And the Trayvon Martins, the Sean Bells. I mean, I could go on and on and on, you know, and things like that. So I get a little aggravated when I see that especially come down on my timeline on Facebook, which I have 5,000 friends, where another young black male has been killed by the police. Then right behind that, a black-on-black crime. You know, so it kind of makes me mad, but that's what we up against. You know, this is 2019. You know, when I was a young kid, you might have little fights or whatever, but we wasn't these days going back home shooting somebody up. No. And it don't make no sense.
Talk about
and then we get mad with somebody else doing something to us.
Right.
It's conflict of interest.
So do you actually talk for the family?
Correct, the spokesman, yes.
You're the spokesperson.
That's correct.
So you'll be the one on the media.
That's correct.
You know,
well, I have a spokesperson as well.
Okay.
You know, I don't chase cameras. I don't chase cases. people reach out to us.
Okay.
Because when you see something or whatever, it seems like you're chasing fame. We do not do that.
Right.
You know, but, you know, people are calling us because I do a lot of marketing, networking and stuff on social media, you know, let them know there's a voice out there that can help you, you know, and things like that, but you have to be honest with us.
Right. So how long do you actually stay with that family? I mean, do you go with them through the whole process?
That is correct.
I mean, but what about after the process is over?
Well, if they
Are
need
you
some
there
kind
for
of
emotional support.
Correct. We do have a spiritual advisor on staff. So if this person needs some spiritual guidance or whatever, we can provide that. So we just don't stop, you know, and things like that. But if they call and say they're going through something, you know, we will set something up like a personal meeting or whatever with them, let them know that I do understand what's going on. Because losing a son, a child or whatever, you know, we had a case in Anniston, Alabama where a mother lost her 12-year-old a couple of days before Christmas when her son, little boy, was playing with a gun, you know, and I had to go down there to kind of get through this. At first she said that they said he committed suicide, shot his own self, but the law officials, the investigation didn't do their job right, found out that the other young man actually pulled the trigger. So she called me back and said, I need to talk to you again. So I had to go down there to meet with the chief and meet with the investigators and call the media and say, hey, there's more to this case. So I went public with that. You know, they just want to just sweep it under the rug, and I would not let that happen. But it depends on the situation. But at the same time, she lost a child, burying her child right before the holidays.
Yeah, burying a child anytime.
That's true.
Not even, you know, because
I understand.
the holidays probably makes it a little bit
harder,
you know,
true,
harder
right.
for them to do.
That is
but
true,
yeah.
and you're right about that. You're right about that.
Wow. Okay, so what about the emotional support after it's over? Do you check in on the family, make sure everybody's okay, or, you know, continue to keep in touch with them? Or is it like after the case is over, maybe it went to court, the person was found guilty or not guilty, whatever, do you just, you know, I mean, do you continue with keeping in touch with that family, you know, for that moral support, emotional support?
It depends. We get so much coming at us, you know, all the time, whatever. But we might do a follow-up call and stuff. Because sometimes cases that come in might just go straight through our attorney and don't need us as an organization.
Okay.
You know, then I have my chief of staff to make sure, hey, how did the case go? You know, because I do sometimes get some phone calls, you know, sometimes they're unhappy.
Yeah.
That's going to happen, you know, and things like that. So we make sure that we stay on top of what we're doing. But we do that, but not. It depends on severe how the case was, you know. But losing a child, yes, we will follow up. But if something like someone got like they feel they got pulled over by the police and it was unjustified, you know, and things like that, we might handle our business and move on unless there's continuous harassment going on that we have to look into further.
Okay, okay. So tell me, what is your mission statement?
Well, actually, just the voice for the voice is just being honest with the community. Okay. You know, I don't have it in front of me, but I can tell you that one thing about this organization is that we're serious, we're dedicated, we're dependable, and we're determined to address these issues locally and nationwide.
So do you want to give us your all your social media, like if someone wanted to get in touch with you?
Yes.
Just, you know, give the viewers your social media information so they can, you know.
For more information for New Order, please call New Order at 1-800-346-5138, or you can visit our website at www.nonhro.org. You can visit us on social media on Facebook at New Order National Human Rights Organization, which is a fan page. We also have a youth page, which is called New Order Youth Outreach Department. So we're all over social media. We're on Twitter. And again, if you need our assistance, please give us a call at 1-800-346-5138. And no one's going to save our children for us but us.
Well, thank you so very much, Mr. Rose, for being with us. We really appreciate it, and much continued success to your organization.
Thank you.
Okay. And thank you so much for being with us. And this is our point of view, up close and personal. Remember, everything you heard and everything we said was our point of view. We'll see you next time.
Reach the we are.